The truck's tires kicked up dust like a confession long buried, and Liam Hayes gripped the wheel until his knuckles ached, the radio spitting static over some forgotten country tune. He hadn't meant to slam the door on Noah's outstretched hand back at the airport, but the words from Seattle still burned. "You're too much, Liam. Just too everything." Now, barreling down this endless Texas highway toward the family farm in Ridge Valley, the horizon swallowed his regrets whole. And then, in the rear view, Noah's face flickered like a ghost. His brother, the one solid thing left, yelling after him, "You think running fixes this? It never does." That was the summer everything cracked open, the kind where heat waves your vision and secrets rise like steam from the soil. Liam pulled into the gravel drive of Harlan Farm just as the sun dipped low, painting the silos blood red, and stepped out into air thick with the scent of earth and regret. Noah was already there, unloading crates from the old Ford, his broad shoulders tense under a faded Stetson. "About time you showed," Noah said, voice rough as the scrubland, but his eyes held that old plea, "Don't leave me carrying this alone." Their father had bailed 2 years back, hightailing it to Austin with a bottle and a younger woman, leaving the farm to rot under inheritance papers neither brother wanted. Noah, ever the anchor, had stayed. Liam, the drifter, had fled to the city lights, chasing dreams that tasted like ash. They hugged quick, the kind that said more in silence than words ever could, Noah's calloused hands clapping Liam's back with a force that nearly buckled him. "Farm's waiting, little brother. And so am I." Liam nodded, swallowing the lump in his throat, the one that carried echoes of his ex, Tyler, and the apartment full of shattered glass. He was 24, gay in a world that sometimes felt like it tolerated him on good days, and this place, Ridge Valley with its Bible thumpers and backroad whispers, felt like stepping into a memory he wasn't sure he could rewrite. The first week blurred into a rhythm of sweat and silence. Dawn cracked with the rooster's crow, yanking Liam from dreams of neon signs and crowded bars into the grind of mending fences and hauling hay. Noah moved like he was born to it, his laughter booming over the fields as he wrestled a stubborn calf into the pen. But Liam lagged, his city-soft hands blistering under the sun. "You gotta feel the land, Liam," Noah would say, wiping dirt from his brow. "It don't bend to you, it bends you." Evenings, they'd sit on the porch with cold beers, the sky bruising purple, trading stories that skirted the edges of truth. Noah spoke of the farm's ghosts, their granddad's hands plowing these acres since the Dust Bowl, the way the soil held grudges. Liam nodded, but his mind wandered to the what-ifs, the men had loved and lost, the way coming out at 18 had carved a chasm between him and this place. It was on the third morning, knee-deep in irrigation ditches, that Wyatt Harlan appeared like a mirage. Head come from the neighboring spread, Harlan as in the family name etched on the mailbox. A lanky 26-year-old with sun-kissed skin and hazel eyes that caught the light like polished oak. Wyatt rode up on a chestnut mare, dust trailing him like a halo. His denim shirt rolled to the elbows, revealing forearms corded from years of roping steers. "Heard you boys needed an extra hand," he called, tipping his hat with a grin that hit Liam square in the chest. Easy, unforced, the kind that promised stories around a campfire. Noah waved him over, clapping Wyatt on the shoulder like an old ally. "Wyatt's folks own half the county. Best roper this side of Austin. You stick close to him, Liam. You might learn something besides how to burn toast." Wyatt dismounted with a fluid grace that made Liam's pulse stutter, extending a hand rough as sandpaper. "Wyatt Harlan, welcome to the grind." Their palms met, and something electric passed, brief, unspoken, like the hum of a live wire buried in the earth. Liam muttered a hello, heat creeping up his neck that had nothing to do with the sun. Wyatt smelled of leather and fresh-cut grass, his gaze lingering a beat too long, appraising, before he turned to Noah with easy banter about crop yields and the coming drought. From there, the days shifted. Wyatt became a fixture, his truck rumbling up at first light, joining them in the fields where the cornstalks whispered secrets to the wind. He'd teach Liam the knots for baling wire, his fingers brushing Liam's as he demonstrated, each touch a spark that Liam banked like embers. They worked side by side, Wyatt's voice a low drawl spinning tales of high school rodeos and the time he outran a stampede on foot. Liam found himself opening up in fragments, about Seattle's relentless rain mirroring his moods, the art school dropout life that left him sketching abandoned barns in notebooks he'd never show. Wyatt listened without judgment, his laugh a rumble that eased the knot in Liam's gut. One evening, after a storm rolled through like divine wrath, leaving the fields sodden and the air electric, they sheltered in the barn. Noah had headed inside for supper, leaving Liam and Wyatt to secure the loose tarps. Rain drummed on the tin roof, a staccato heartbeat, and in the dim lantern light, Wyatt's face softened, shadows playing across his jaw. "You ain't like the city boys I figured you'd be," Wyatt said, leaning against a stall, hay dusting his boots. "They come here all shiny and break after a week. You fit somehow, like you been waiting to." Liam's heart thudded, the air thick between them. He wanted to say it then, the truth of who he was, the men who'd shaped him into this mosaic of longing and fear, but the words stuck. Instead, he joked about his blister-popping hands, and Wyatt chuckled, stepping closer to inspect them. Their eyes met, and for a moment, the world narrowed to the space where their breaths mingled. Wyatt's thumb grazed Liam's palm, a question in the touch, and Liam felt the pull, magnetic and terrifying. That night, Liam lay awake in the creaky guest room, the fan whirring overhead like his thoughts. The farm felt alive, pulsing with possibilities head never dared name. Down the hall, Noah snored softly, oblivious to the storm brewing in his brother's chest. Outside, crickets chorused a lullaby, but sleep evaded Liam, chased away by the ghost of Wyatt's gaze. He traced the ceiling cracks with his eyes, wondering if this place could hold him, or if he'd shatter it first. The drought hit like a thief in the night, stealing color from the fields until the corn stood brittle and accusing under a merciless sky. Liam woke to Noah's curses echoing from the porch, the older brother pacing with a weather app glowing on his phone. "Forecast says 2 more weeks of this hell," Noah growled, tossing the device onto the swing. "If the wells go dry, we're done. Whole damn legacy up in smoke." Liam joined him, coffee mug steaming in the chill pre-dawn, and for the first time, he saw the cracks in Noah's armor, the worry lines etching deeper, the way his hands trembled slightly as he lit a cigarette head sworn off months ago. Wyatt arrived early that day, his truck loaded with borrowed pumps from his father's spread. "Won't fix it," he admitted as they wrestled the hoses into the furrows. "But it'll buy time." Sweat poured down their backs, mixing with dust to cake their skin in mud masks. Liam stole glances at Wyatt, the way his shirt clung to the lean muscles of his torso, the determined set of his mouth as he cursed a stubborn valve. There was a poetry to it, this labor, a rhythm that synced their breaths and made the ache in Liam's limbs feel purposeful. By midday, the heat warped the air, mirages dancing at the horizon's edge. They broke for lunch under the lone pecan tree, its shade a meager mercy. Noah sprawled against the trunk, hat over his eyes, snoring lightly after devouring his sandwich. Liam and Wyatt sat closer than necessary, knees brushing as they shared a thermos of iced tea. "You ever think about leaving?" Liam asked, voice low, the question slipping out like a loose thread. Wyatt's eyes flicked to him, thoughtful. "Every damn fall, when the fair's over and the tourists clear out. But this place, it's in my blood. Pulls you back, like gravity." He paused, wiping his brow. "What about you? Seattle's calling, I bet. All that rain and reinvention." Liam shook his head, the lie tasting bitter. "Not anymore. Feels like I was running from shadows there." He met Wyatt's gaze, and the hazel depths held him, searching. The air hummed with unspoken things, the tree leaves rustling like a held breath. Wyatt reached out, casual as checking a watch, but his fingers lingered on Liam's wrist, pulse point thumping under the pad of his thumb. "Shadows got a way of following," Wyatt murmured. "But sometimes, you find light right where you least expect." Noah stirred then, grumbling about siesta being for cowboys, not farmers, and the moment fractured. But it lingered, that touch, warming Liam through the afternoon's toil. As dusk fell, they drove into Ridge Valley for supplies, the truck's cab a cocoon of vinyl and vinyl-scratched radio. Noah rode in the bed with the feed sacks, leaving Liam and Wyatt to the front seat, the space between them charged. Wyatt hummed along to an old Lucinda Williams track, his voice gravel rough, and Liam felt it in his bones, a melody of possibility. At the co-op, the town unfolded in its small-town sprawl. Pickup trucks idling by the diner, old-timers in overalls swapping lies over coffee. Wyatt introduced Liam with easy pride, City Slicker turned Hey Baylor, and the locals nodded, their eyes appraising but kind. Mrs. Delaney, the feed store owner, slipped Wyatt an extra bag of nails with a wink. "Tell your mama I said hi, sugar, and keep an eye on that brother of yours." Trouble follows handsome like flies on honey. Back at the farm, as they unloaded under floodlights, Noah clapped Wyatt on the back. "You're a godsend, man. Couldn't do this without you." Wyatt grinned, but his eyes sought Liam's, a private spark amid the gratitude. Later, alone in the barn checking the horses, Liam found Wyatt there, brushing down the mare with long, steady strokes. "Noah talks about you like you're the prodigal son returned," Wyatt said, not looking up. "But I see it, the weight you carry. Like you're afraid the ground'll swallow you if you stand still too long." Liam leaned against the stall, heart hammering. "Maybe it will. Or maybe I'm just learning how to stand." The words hung, vulnerable, and Wyatt set the brush aside, closing the distance in 2 strides. Their foreheads nearly touched, breaths sinking in the hay-scented dimness. "Then stand with me," Wyatt whispered, and his hand cupped Liam's jaw, thumb tracing the line of his cheekbone. The kiss came soft at first, tentative, lips brushing like a question. Then deeper, Wyatt's mouth warm and insistent, tasting of tea and salt, pulling Liam under like a riptide. They broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed, the world tilting. "Been wanting that since day one," Wyatt confessed, voice husky. Liam laughed, shaky, the sound echoing in the quiet. "Me too. God, me too." They stole more in the shadows. Kisses that mapped uncharted territories, hands exploring with a reverence born of hunger. But as Wyatt's truck taillights faded down the drive, Liam slipped inside, past Noah's door, guilt and joy warring in his chest. This was new, fragile, a bloom in barren soil. And yet, as he traced his swollen lips in the mirror, he wondered, how long before the drought claimed it too? Noah noticed the shift the next morning, his eyes narrowing over breakfast as Liam hummed while scrambling eggs. "You look like the cat that got the cream," Noah teased. But there was an edge to it, a brother's intuition sniffing out secrets. Liam shrugged it off, blaming the coffee, but the air between them thickened, unspoken questions piling like storm clouds. Wyatt arrived with his usual grin, but now it held layers. Private jokes and sidelong glances, a brush of fingers when passing tools. The work felt lighter, charged with stolen moments. Wyatt's boot nudging Liam's under the lunch blanket, a whispered later as they parted for chores. Yet the farm demanded its toll. That afternoon, a fence line snapped under a spooked bull's charge, wire whipping like a lash. Liam dove to secure it, thorns tearing his jeans, and Wyatt hauled him back just as the beast thundered past. "Jesus, Liam, pay attention," Wyatt hissed, hands gripping his arms hard enough to bruise. Noah arrived running, face ashen. "You all right?" he demanded, pulling Liam up, his embrace fierce. In that moment, sandwiched between them, Liam felt the threads of his life tangling. Brother, lover, the land that bound them all. As the sun set, bloodied and bandaged, they sat on the porch steps, beers in hand. Noah raised his bottle. "To not dying today." Wyatt echoed it, his knee warm against Liam's, a secret anchor. But Noah's gaze lingered on Wyatt a fraction too long, something unreadable flickering there. Envy, perhaps, or the echo of his own buried longings. Liam pushed the thought down, savoring the fragile peace. Little did he know, the real storm was just gathering force. Weeks bled into one another, the drought relenting in fits and starts, rain teasing the parched earth like a flirtation gone sour. The fields greened unevenly, patches of hope amid the scars, mirroring the tentative bloom in Liam's heart. Wyatt became woven into their days, not just a helper but a presence. His laughter cutting through the monotony, his quiet strength a balm. They carved out pockets of time, midnight drives to the creek where willows draped like veils, bodies entwining on a quilt under stars sharp as diamonds. Wyatt's touch was reverent, mapping Liam's skin with calloused fingers, whispering praises that unraveled him. "You're beautiful here," Wyatt would say, tracing the curve of Liam's hip, "like you were made for this light." Liam believed him. In those stolen hours, the city's cynicism peeling away layer by layer. Head sketch Wyatt by lantern light, the strong line of his nose, the way his lashes fanned against freckled cheeks. Pages filling with lines that captured the man, not just the form. Wyatt would watch, head tilted, a soft smile playing. Never been anyone's muse before, but beneath the romance, doubts gnawed. Wyatt spoke little of his own past, deflecting with jokes about ex-girlfriends and county fairs. But Liam sensed the walls, high, weathered, built from small-town expectations. Noah too changed. He'd linger longer in conversations, his questions probing, "Wyatt, you ever think about settling down proper? Folks round here marry young." Wyatt's answers came easy, non-committal, but Liam caught the flicker in his eyes, the way he'd glance at Noah with something almost wistful. One evening, after a successful harvest push, they celebrated with a bonfire in the back pasture. Noah dragged out Granddad's old guitar, strumming off-key renditions of Johnny Cash, his voice surprisingly tender. Wyatt joined in, harmony weaving through the crackle of flames, and Liam sat between them, beer-buzzed and content, the firelight gilding their faces. As the night deepened, Noah passed out first, slumped against a log, snores rumbling like distant thunder. Wyatt pulled Liam closer, lips brushing his ear. "Dance with me." No music but the embers pop and the coyotes yip. Yet they swayed, bodies fitting like puzzle pieces worn smooth by time. Wyatt's hands spanned Liam's waist, possessive yet gentle, and Liam melted into it, head on his shoulder, inhaling the smoke and sage of him. "I could stay," Liam murmured, the words escaping unbidden. "Here, with you." Wyatt stilled, then tilted Liam's chin up, eyes serious in the glow. "You mean that?" Liam nodded, throat tight. "Never felt this. Real. Like I can breathe." The kiss that followed was fierce, grounding, Wyatt's fingers threading through Liam's hair, as if to anchor him forever. They tumbled to the grass, the world narrowing to gasps and whispers, love unfurling like a secret kept too long. But dawn brought reckoning. Liam woke to Noah's voice, sharp from the farmhouse. "Wyatt, wait up." He slipped away before Wyatt stirred, heart pounding, and found his brother on the porch, arms crossed, face stormy. "We need to talk," Noah said, voice low. Liam braced, expecting questions about the bruises on his neck or the late-night returns. Instead, "Wyatt's off. His dad's sick, pancreatic, bad. He's heading back to the main house to help. Told me last night." The words landed like a gut punch. Liam feigned nonchalance, but inside, panic clawed. "When?" Noah shrugged. "This morning," said he'd be back soon as he could. They worked in silence that day, the fields echoing with absence. Liam texted Wyatt, simple, aching, "Miss you already?" But hours passed with no reply. By evening, doubt crept in, cold and insidious. Had last night been too much? Too soon? Wyatt returned 2 days later, hollow-eyed, truck pulling up at dusk. He waved off their concern, diving into chores with mechanical focus. That night, in the barn, Liam cornered him. "Talk to me." Wyatt leaned against the wall, exhaustion etching lines around his mouth. "It's bad, Liam. Docs give him months. Mama's falling apart, and I'm the only one who can hold it together." He pulled Liam close, burying his face in his neck. "Doesn't change us. Can't." But it did, subtly at first. Wyatt pulled back, hours stretching into days of radio silence, his energy siphoned by hospital runs and family prayers. Liam filled the void with work, but resentment simmered. Toward the farm, the timing, the way love felt like a rope fraying under strain. Noah noticed, his concern sharpening into suspicion. "You two fighting?" He'd asked, casual over dinner, but his eyes drilled. Liam denied it, but the lie sat heavy. The breaking point came mid-August, heat lightning flickering like bad omens. Noah announced a town barbecue, the annual Ridge Valley hoedown, ribbons and ribs under strung lights. "Gotta show face," he insisted. "Keeps the neighbors buying our hay." Liam dreaded it, the prying eyes, the whispers about the city boy gone native. But Wyatt surprisingly agreed. "Might do us good. Pretend normal for a night." The fairgrounds buzzed with life. Cotton candy air, kids shrieking on the Ferris wheel, fiddles wailing from the stage. They arrived as a trio, Noah in his best button-down, Wyatt starched and somber, Liam in jeans that suddenly felt too tight. Locals swarmed, backslaps and small talk flowing like sweet tea. Wyatt played the part, charming Mrs. Delaney, roping calves for cheering crowds. But his hand found Liam's under the picnic table, squeezing once, fierce. Then disaster. Tommy Reeves, Wyatt's old rodeo rival, sauntered up, arms slung around a giggling girl, beer bottle dangling. "Harlan, heard about your old man. Tough break." His gaze slid to Liam, smirk curling. "And who's the pretty boy?" "City import." Noah laughed it off, but Wyatt tensed, grip tightening. Tommy leaned in, voice oily. "Careful, Harlan. Last time you got cozy with a fella from out of town, things got complicated. Remember Jesse?" The name hung like smoke. Wyatt paled, yanking his hand away. Liam froze, questions burning. The night unraveled from there. Wyatt vanishing into the crowd. Noah pulling Liam aside with a grip like iron. What the hell was that about? But Liam had no answers, only the sting of exclusion. He found Wyatt by the stock pens, staring at the stars, shoulders slumped. "Jesse," Liam prompted, voice cracking. Wyatt sighed, long and ragged. "High school. It was real. But he left for college, came out loud and proud. Town tore him apart. Rumors, his folks disowning him. I stayed quiet. Safer." He turned, eyes glistening. "I can't do that to you, Liam. Not with everything else falling." The confession cracked something in Liam. Relief, rage, love twisted with fear. "So we hide? Pretend." Wyatt pulled him into shadow, kiss desperate. "Just till I figure it out. Please." Liam nodded, but as fireworks burst overhead, illuminating the crowd's oblivious joy, he wondered if love could survive in half-light. September crept in on cooler winds, the fields turning gold as harvest fever gripped Ridge Valley. The air carried a crisp edge, apples ripening in the orchards, but for Liam, the season felt like a countdown. Wyatt balanced on a knife's edge, days devoted to the farm, nights to his father's bedside. Their stolen moments shrinking to hurried kisses in truck cabs and whispered promises against truck cabs. "Soon," Wyatt would say, voice frayed, "once Pa stabilized." Liam clung to it, but the distance widened, a chasm filled with unspoken fears. Noah, ever the observer, grew distant too. He'd take longer rides alone, returning with dust-caked boots and a faraway look, guitar sessions abandoned for solitary beers on the porch. Liam tried bridging it, cooking Noah's favorite chili, sharing sketches of the silos at sunset, but his brother deflected, questions turning pointed. "You and Wyatt, it's more than buddies, ain't it?" The words landed one evening over dinner, fork pausing mid-air. Liam choked on his water, heart slamming. "What?" Noah set his jaw, eyes steady. "I see it. The looks. The way he lights up around you." He leaned forward, voice dropping. "Just be careful, Liam. This ain't Seattle. Folks here, they talk. And Wyatt, he's got enough on his plate." The warning hung, laced with protectiveness, but Liam heard the undercurrent. Jealousy, perhaps, or the echo of Noah's own unspoken burdens. "I'm not a kid." Liam shot back, heat rising. "I know what I'm doing." Noah's laugh was bitter. "Do you? Love on a farm, it's like planting in sand. Washes away." The words echoed as Liam stormed out, finding solace in the barn where hay bales loomed like silent confidants. He texted Wyatt, "Need you. Now." Minutes later, headlights cut the dark. Wyatt slipping in with a blanket and a thermos of coffee, his face drawn from another hospital vigil. They curled together in the loft, the scent of alfalfa cocooning them. "Noah knows," Liam confessed, tracing Wyatt's collarbone. Wyatt stiffened, then sighed. "Figured he might. He's sharp." He pulled Liam closer, lips brushing his temple. "Doesn't change this. Us." But it did, in ripples. The next day, Wyatt arrived late, eyes red-rimmed. "Pa gone," he said simply, voice breaking on the edge. The farm stilled, grief settling like dust. Noah closed up shop, driving Wyatt home for the funeral arrangements, leaving Liam to solitary chores that blurred through tears he couldn't name. He mourned for Wyatt, the boy who'd lost his anchor too young, but also for the fragility of their bond, tested by loss. The funeral was a blur of black suits and casseroles, Ridge Valley turning out in force under a sky heavy with unshed rain. Wyatt stood tall beside his mother, reciting eulogies with a steadiness that cracked Liam's heart. Afterward, at the graveside reception in the Harlan backyard, Liam hovered on the fringes, offering quiet support. A hand on Wyatt's back, a shared glance across the crowd. Tommy Reeves lurked, his condolences laced with smirks, but Noah shadowed him, a silent deterrent. That night, Wyatt came to the farm unannounced, slipping into Liam's room past midnight. "I can't do empty house," he whispered, collapsing into bed, body racked with silent sobs. Liam held him through it, rocking like a child, murmuring nonsense about stars and tomorrows. Dawn found them tangled, Wyatt's breathing even, peace etched in sleep. But as light filtered through curtains, reality intruded. A knock at the door. Noah's voice, urgent. "Liam, church folks are here. About the will." They dressed hastily, Wyatt joining them in the kitchen where a lawyer waited, papers spread like a battlefield. The reading was swift. The Harlan spread to Wyatt and his sister, but with strings, debts, easements, a clause tying water rights to the Hayes farm. Noah's face darkened. "This affects us all." Wyatt nodded, weary. "Dad trusted you, Noah. Always said you were the steady one." The words landed oddly, Noah's jaw tightening. Later, alone, Liam confronted him. "You okay?" Noah paced, fists clenched. "Steady one, right? While you two play house in shadows." The accusation spilled, raw. "I see it, Liam, and it kills me not 'cause you're you, 'cause I'm happy for you. But me, this place, it's all I got, and it's slipping." Liam reached out, but Noah shrugged him off. "Wyatt looks at you like your salvation. Just don't let it blind you to what's real." The rift widened that week, Noah withdrawing into long rides, returning with wild eyes and whiskey breath. Liam buried himself in Wyatt's grief, their love deepening in the quiet hours. Slow explorations by candlelight, confessions traded like treasures. "I love you," Wyatt said one night, the words a vow against the dark. Liam echoed it, believing, but doubt seeded. Was this escape or endurance? October brought the first real storm, thunder rolling like judgment. It flooded the low fields, washing out fences and drowning seedlings. They fought it together, Noah directing from the porch, Wyatt and Liam wading waist-deep, ropes straining against debris. Lightning cracked, illuminating Wyatt's face, fierce and alive, and in a lull, he yanked Liam close, kissing him fierce under the deluge. "We're stronger than this," he growled. But as they dragged back, soaked and shivering, Noah watched from the doorway, expression unreadable, a mix of pride and profound loneliness. That night, over hot cocoa by the fire, Noah broke. "I kissed someone," he blurted, staring into flames. Liam froze, mug halfway to lips. "Who?" Noah's laugh was hollow. "Wyatt. Last month, after the drought talk. He was hurting, I was weak. Nothing happened. But it did." The confession hung, shattering the air. Betrayal twisted in Liam's gut. Not just the act, but the secrecy, the way it fractured their triad. "Why tell me now?" Noah met his eyes, broken. "'Cause I can't carry it alone. And 'cause I think him like you, Liam. Always have been." The revelation upended everything, Noah's walls crumbling in sobs that echoed Liam's own hidden pains. They talked till dawn, about suppressed desires, the farm as both prison and refuge, the courage it took to name them. Wyatt, arriving at first light, sensed the shift. When Liam pulled him aside, voice trembling, Wyatt's face crumpled. "Noah, it was nothing. A moment." But the damage bloomed, trust eroding like riverbanks. November stripped the trees bare, winds howling through Ridge Valley like accusations unanswered. The farm hunkered down, harvest bins overflowing but spirits frayed. The storm's flood leaving mud-slick scars on the land and in their hearts. Liam moved through days in a haze, Noah confession a specter at every meal, every shared glance with Wyatt. Noah threw himself into repairs, hammering boards with a fury that splintered more than wood. His apologies whispered in passing. "It meant nothing, I swear." But words couldn't mend the fracture. Liam nodded, forgiving in theory, but the sting lingered, a bruise on his faith. Wyatt, caught in the crossfire, withdrew further. Head arrived for chores, work in silence, his touches tentative now, brushing Liam's hand with hesitation, as if testing invisible lines. One afternoon, knee-deep in mucking stalls, he cracked. "This is killing us," he said, pitchfork pausing. Noah's my friend. Yours too. I never meant. Liam cut him off, voice raw. I know, but it hurts. Like you chose silence over us. Wyatt's eyes flashed. Chose? I chose you every damn day. But family is not clean like city love. It's tangled. They argued then, voices rising over the horses' whinnies. About secrets. About the closet Wyatt still half hid in. About how Noah's slip exposed the farm's underbelly of repression. Liam stormed out, boots splashing through puddles, ending up at the creek where willows wept into the current. He skipped stones, each plunk a release, until Wyatt found him, soaked from the drizzle, extending an olive branch, a thermos and a plea. I'm sorry. For all of it. They sat on the bank, shoulders touching, rain mingling with tears. I want out, Wyatt confessed. Sell my share, start fresh. With you. Somewhere the air don't choke on judgment. The dream ignited something fierce in Liam. A vision of road trips to California coasts, apartments with ocean views, love worn openly like a badge. Yes, he breathed, kissing Wyatt with renewed hunger, bodies pressing urgent against the chill. They made plans in whispers, wait out the winter, list the land come spring. Hope flickered, fragile but real. But Noah unraveled faster. Head vanished for hours, returning with hollow cheeks and eyes shadowed by bottles hidden in the barn. Liam confronted him one gray dawn, finding him slumped against the tractor, flask in hand. This ain't you, Liam said, kneeling. Noah's laugh cracked. Isn't it? The straight brother holding it together. But inside, empty. He spilled then. Years of burying his truth, crushes on teammates in high school, the farm as a cage head gilded with duty. Seeing you with Wyatt, it woke something, made me hate myself more. Liam pulled him into a hug, brothers bound by blood, and now by shared shadows. You're not alone, he murmured. We figure it out. Together. Noah clung, sobs muffled in Liam's shoulder, the first step toward mending. They talked for hours about therapy in Austin, support groups online, the slow art of coming out in a place that preached love but practiced exclusion. Noah agreed, tentative, to dry out and try. Yet fate twisted sharper. Word spread through town. Tommy Reeves, ever the Viper, had overheard fragments at the fair, twisting them into venom. Whispers reached the co-op. Harlan Boy and the Hayes brothers. Unnatural. Threats followed. Lost contracts. Vandalism to the fences. A cross burning shallow in the front pasture one moonless night. Noah found it at dawn. Embers still warm, and rage boiled over. They want a fight? He roared, calling a town meeting at the diner. The gathering crackled with tension. Farmers in flannel, wives clutching purses, Pastor Ellis thundering about sin from the counter stool. Noah stood, voice steady despite trembling hands. This farm's been here generations, built on hard work, not hate. You come after my family, after us, and you're spitting on all of it. Murmurs rose, but Wyatt, arriving late, joined him, hand on Noah's shoulder. My dad's gone. Doesn't mean his legacy ends in ugliness. Eyes turned to Liam, expectant, and in that charged silence he rose. Heart pounding, he met their stares. I'm gay. Have been since I could name it. And Wyatt, he's mine. Noah's family, blood and choice. We ain't hurting nobody. But this hate is poisoning everything. Gasps rippled, Pastor Ellis sputtering. But Mrs. Delaney stood, voice firm. Boy's right. Enough. Others followed. Old Mr. Thibodeau nodding, young couples exchanging glances. The tide shifted, not fully, but enough to douse the flames. Back home, adrenaline crashed into exhaustion. They collapsed on the porch, beers raised in shaky toast. You did it, Wyatt said to Liam, pride shining. Noah clapped his back. We did. But as stars pricked the sky, Liam saw the cost. Noah's haunted eyes, Wyatt's clenched jaw. Love had won a battle, but the war loomed. Winter blanketed Ridge Valley in frost, the farm a hush of preparation. They fortified new locks, community watches, but the real work was inward. Noah attended meetings in the city, returning lighter, sharing stories of men like him, forging paths from shame. Wyatt and Liam deepened, intimacy evolving from passion to partnership. Cooking Sundays, debating futures over maps. Yet cracks persisted. One night, snow falling soft, Wyatt confessed over cocoa. Tommy cornered me. Said he'd expose us unless I back off the water deal. Buy him out quiet. Rage surged in Liam. We fight. But Wyatt hesitated, fear flickering. Or we leave. Start clean. The choice loomed, tearing at Liam. Abandon Noah, the land, or risk everything. As the fire died, doubt crept. Was love enough against the world's weight? December deepened the chill, holidays looming like uninvited guests. Ridge Valley twinkled with lights strung across porches. But the Hayes farm felt shadowed, the cross's ash still staining the earth like a scar. Liam wrestled with Wyatt's ultimatum. Nights spent pacing the creaky floors while snow muffled the world outside. Leave and betray the brother who'd bared his soul. Stay and invite the storm. Wyatt grew quiet, his touches lingering with desperation, as if memorizing Liam's skin against impending loss. I can't lose you, head murmur in the dark, body arching under Liam's, seeking solace in flesh. Noah, sensing the rift, intervened one frostbitten morning over pancakes sticky with maple. Talk to me, he urged, flipping a spatula like a white flag. Liam spilled it, the threat, the choice, and Noah's face hardened, not with anger, but resolve. We face it, together, no more running. He revealed his own play, reaching out to a queer alliance in Austin, lawyers pro bono for land disputes. This place is ours. They don't get to chase us out. Empowered, they planned. Wyatt, bolstered by Noah's fire, agreed to confront Tommy. The meeting happened at the old mill by the river, neutral ground slick with ice. Tommy arrived smirking, cronies in tow, but Wyatt stood firm, Noah and Liam flanking like sentinels. You want money? Earn it fair, Wyatt said, voice steel. But threats? Over. We're done hiding. Tommy lunged, words venomous. Freak show. But Noah stepped forward, calm. Touch them and you answer to me. All of us. The bluff held. Tommy backed down, muttering retreats, the tide turning on bluster. Relief flooded, but it was fleeting. Christmas Eve brought Wyatt's mother, frail in her widow's black, bearing pies and pleas. Stay, she begged Wyatt over eggnog by the fire. For me, the farm's your birthright. Wyatt wavered, eyes on Liam, torn between roots and wings. That night, as carols drifted from town, they argued in whispers. Wyatt pleading caution, Liam demanding all in. Love isn't half measures, Liam said, voice breaking. Wyatt pulled away, storming to the guest room, door clicking shut like a verdict. Dawn broke gray, gifts unopened under a lopsided tree. Noah found Liam in the kitchen, eyes red. Give him time, he advised, squeezing his shoulder. But time felt like erosion. Wyatt left for his mother's that day, promising return, but days stretched to a week. Texts curt. Family stuff. Liam threw himself into New Year's prep, stringing lights with Noah, their laughter forced but healing. You saved me, Noah said one night, clinking mugs. Coming out. It freed something. Liam hugged him fierce. We save each other. Wyatt reappeared January's first snow, face gaunt, resolve etched. I'm selling, he announced over coffee. Half to pay debts, half to you and Noah. Start fresh. Us three, partners in every way. The words mended, joy surging. They celebrated with a bonfire, flames leaping as they danced, snowflakes hissing on embers. Wyatt pulled Liam close, whispering, You're my home. Noah watched, smiling soft, his own heart mending in the warmth. Spring thawed the land, fields greening with promise. The sale closed smooth, Tommy silenced by community pressure. Mrs. Delaney leading petitions, Pastor Ellis recanting in sermons on grace. Liam and Wyatt built a studio in the barn for Liam's art, queer-friendly events drawing outsiders, Noah dating tentatively, a quiet engineer from Austin, weekends filled with tentative joy. Love bloomed multifaceted, Wyatt and Liam's passion steady, Noah's brotherly bond unbreakable, the farm a haven. Yet climax brewed in May, a county hearing on water rights. Opponents rallied, old guard decrying changes, but they testified united. Wyatt on legacy, Noah on stewardship, Liam on belonging. This land taught me roots, Liam said, voice steady. And love grew them. Cheers erupted, victory sweet. Summer returned, Full circle. Liam stood in the fields, sketchpad in hand, Wyatt beside him, Noah calling from the porch. The horizon stretched endless, not confining but inviting. Love, had learned, wasn't found. It was tilled, watered, harvested through storms. And in Ridge Valley's embrace they thrived, free, seen, whole. The cycle turned full, July heat waves rippling once more. But this summer carried weight of rebirth. The farm pulsed with life. Volunteers from the Alliance tilling new plots, pride flags fluttering subtle from the silo, laughter echoing where silence once reigned. Liam woke to Wyatt's arm draped heavy across his waist, breath warm on his neck. The guest room now theirs, walls papered in sketches of shared sunsets. Down the hall, Noah hummed off-key, coffee brewing, his boyfriend's truck often parked in the drive, a quiet testament to possibility. Yet peace demanded vigilance. Tommy Reeves slunk back, whispers of sabotage, poisoned feed, slashed tires. But they met it head-on, cameras installed, allies mobilized. One dusk, as Liam and Wyatt mended a tampered gate, Tommy appeared, swagger diminished, eyes darting. "Just talk," he muttered, hands raised. Wyatt tensed, but Liam stepped forward. "Why?" Tommy shrugged, deflating. "Scared, I guess, of what y'all represent. Change I ain't ready for." No fists flew. Instead, words. Tommy admitting his own confusions, a father's expectations crushing dreams. They parted uneasy truce, seeds of understanding planted. Noah's journey deepened. He came out publicly at the county fair, speech simple, "I'm gay, proud, and this farm's proud too." Applause thundered, tears streaming, Liam and Wyatt cheering loudest. That night, around the bonfire, Noah raised a toast. "To us, brothers, lovers, survivors." Wyatt pulled Liam close, kissing him open under stars. No shadows now. But humanity's core tested them still. Wyatt's mother, fading from grief's toll, called him home one August storm. "End it right," she whispered on her porch, hand frail in his. Wyatt stayed weeks, nursing her through chemo relapses, Liam visiting with soups and stories, Noah hauling supplies. In her final days, she gathered them, Wyatt, Liam, even Noah, eyes clear. "You boys, you made him shine. Thank you." Her passing carved deep, but in the emptiness, they forged stronger. Funeral, a blend of hymns and heartfelt toasts. Ridge Valley mourning, a womanhood quietly shifted, baking pies for Alliance meetings. Fall harvested abundance, bins bursting, profits funding expansions. Liam sold his first series, Farm Portraits, raw and romantic, galleries in Austin buzzing. Wyatt proposed mid-October, under the pecan tree, ring simple silver twisted like vines. "Marry me, here where it started." Liam yes-ed through tears, Noah officiating their small ceremony come spring, vows exchanged amid blooming fields. Years layered, a daughter adopted, her laughter chasing through rows. Noah's wedding, vows echoing theirs. The farm a beacon, retreats for queer youth seeking soil-solid ground. Liam, gray threading his hair, would stand at dusk, Wyatt's hand in his, Noah nearby with his husband, reflecting. That summer, head come seeking escape, found love in fields that taught endurance. In the end, it wasn't perfection. No tidy bows, but humanity. Compassion in cracks, freedom in facing storms, identity rooted deep. The land held them, as they held each other, love a perennial crop, thriving against odds.